The original program is the senior playground, which I mentioned earlier about it
Hmm.
making its way around the world. And we were fortunate enough to team with the Catholic Archdiocese that owns St. Dominic's Village across from the Houston Zoo. And they gave me 10,000 square feet to build the first senior playground.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Spotlight Houston, where we bring you the best of the people, places, and events in Houston. This week, we sat down with Fritz McDonald of Great Age Movement to talk about how his nonprofit is helping to keep Houston seniors physically fit. And now, your host, Blanca Quesada.
Hi, everyone. Well, today I have to remind everybody that wellness is really important at any age, but it becomes much more important as we become, as they call elderly people, senior citizens, right? So that we can stay as healthy as possible. Today with me is Fritz McDonald. He's the president and founder of the Great Age Movement. I love that title.
Thank you.
And yeah, and you usually say that there's no such thing as old age, and I agree with that. I definitely agree. And you're redefining it as great age, and it really is because baby boomers, as people are called, they have more experience. They've lived almost a lifetime and so many different experiences.
Mhm.
And a lot of these people, they want to stay healthy, they want to stay active, and they want to participate in as much as they can. Sometimes, of course, it's a little bit difficult, but they do. And so the first thing I want to know, Fritz, so welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank
And
you.
and what I would like to know is what made you think that this would be a great idea to create a great age movement organization?
I think it is a culmination of life experiences that have led to this moment in my life. The idea itself came up about 6 years ago, and I was a bit at a road with my career. I work in physical rehabilitation. I've worked in all capacities from clinician to manager to running rehab departments in post acute centers. And essentially, all seniors, people with an array of conditions, strokes, knee replacements, hip replacements, cancer, amputations, you name it. And so I've had the opportunity to see people at different stages of recovery. And the most significant for me has been seeing people in their homes as a therapist. And what I've noticed is not just me, but all the healthcare workers that help people get better and stay home, whether it's the nurse or the therapist or the social worker. A lot of people have nowhere to go. And in large part, it's because they have very limited income. So activities aren't going to be as prevalent for a lot of seniors. And I feel like it really started when I was in the Boy Scouts, and I learned that volunteering and having a social impact. When I became an Eagle Scout, we had to do a big project that would benefit my community. And I feel like looking back, that's always been a part of my character of what I learned as an Eagle Scout. And when I came to this crossroad in my career, I soon realized that I needed to do something more purposeful. And nothing about money, but more about helping people on a larger scale. And so I started doing a little research and I thought, what could I do besides going house to house where I could bring people together in a space that they feel connected and is a part of the community? So what I discovered online is China in 1995 mandated all seniors have to go to these senior fitness parks that they set up throughout the country. And this was a law that was established in 95. And it was a way to also reduce the burden of care on the hospital system. Take care of your body, use exercise to build your immune system, your overall strength, your socialization with others. And I followed it through research that it spread to Europe and other Asian countries. And then it started popping up here in the United States, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago in progressive cities. What I learned is Houston didn't have anything like it. And if you look at America as a whole, we're more driven by taking medicine versus
Right.
doing exercise and using that as medicine to also heal our bodies. So I spoke with a very well-known woman in town through a mutual friend. She's considered the first lady of philanthropy, Carolyn Farr,
Yes, it's
and
wonderful.
wonderful woman. And she knew from the get-go when we spoke that this is something very important and that's something that would grow beyond Houston. And she helped me with the fundraising aspects from the get-go. I did an annual fundraiser the first 3 years and generated enough money to get the product developed, which is the senior playground, which we now call the Great Age Fitness Park. But I know I'm hopping around a little bit here, but that kind of like forced me to really take some steps to develop everything I didn't know about a charity, a board, how to fundraise. And luckily, I had wonderful mentors, even on my board. And they worked with a team of people, and we formed these programs that are now and have been in existence for several years in the community. One being at the Health Museum, which is an indoor workout program. It's where you move through the museum for 35 minutes to music from the 50s to the 80s, and you're working around exhibits. So it's giving you a different perspective on art, exhibits, and also engaging your body in a way that really stimulates everything, your mind, your body, and your soul.
Yeah, and
And
they have a great space there too.
wonderful space. And it's the first kind of program for seniors in the entire country. And we've been doing it since 2019. We were impacted by the pandemic. And from that, the CEO of the Health Museum asked me to do an online program where he said, Fritz, show people how to exercise in their home, in their bed, in the kitchen. So that actually developed, and we made like 80 shows during the pandemic because they closed the museum down and seniors were locked in their spaces, right? And that really helped garner attention from seniors, started to pay attention to us. And it led to, once the museum opened back up, reestablishing that program. And this year alone, we tripled the number of classes, tying ourselves into precincts, to Baker Ripley centers, to assisted living centers, independent living centers, and they're busing seniors now to us, to this wonderful program. Now, the original program is the senior playground, which I mentioned earlier about it
Hmm.
making its way around the world. And we were fortunate enough to team with the Catholic Archdiocese that owns St. Dominic's Village across from the Houston Zoo, and they gave me 10,000 square feet to build the first senior playground.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. And we established that, installed it about a year and a half ago. It was during the pandemic. And we were able to do some test runs with seniors on this particular campus, which is 26 acres, but they have over 400 seniors that live there, and started running our programs. And that caught the attention of Baker Ripley, which is the largest charity in Texas. And they run all the senior community, all the multi-purpose centers in the city.
Right.
And now we're building next month our second Great Age Fitness Park outside of their senior center. And that's going to be a new,
Where is that located?
that's at Baker Ripley House, which is located at Navigation and Lockwood, predominantly Hispanic community, as Baker Ripley has centers in emerging communities, which are
Yes.
generally limited income communities and providing services that aren't normally available to them. The
Well,
beautiful
it's
thing about
great.
our, sorry?
No, I was just about to say it's great that you're expanding it to
Yes.
different locations because Houston is so large, so many people, and it's hard to reach, especially these people that are staying in their homes.
Exactly. And the centers are really like they're the nucleus for each of these emerging communities because they offer many things a lunch, breakfast, everything is on a graded scale or free for people who are on limited income. And all of our programs, our charity raises the money for, and it's free for any senior who attends. Even their caregivers, if they would like to bring senior to us because they don't drive anymore. So there's
Right.
really no excuse not to come to us.
Yeah.
But yes, we are building our second one. This is their flagship center. They offer many things for single moms, for how to do your taxes, how to prepare for a job, but also they have several senior programs. So they're adding us to their program line, and we'll be running those programs from our senior fitness park. And they average about 50 to 60 seniors a day coming through their center. So this is going to be just keeping that program going like daily. So we're very excited about that because this is where we want to be. And this year we're raising money for the third senior fitness park, Great Age Fitness Park, which will be in a predominantly Black neighborhood, which is Fifth Ward, WPB Center. So we're in the works of preparing for that because ideally we'd like to open that one up early next year. and then follow the centers around the city in which Baker Ripley are running all their programs.
Fritz,
Right.
what's in the parks? What is it that people will find in the park?
Great question. Everything in this park is evidence based, which means there's been decades of research proving the value of these fitness stations specifically for seniors. So, our first park has Tai Chi wheels, and they look like steering wheels that you are standing and you're moving, and two together. So, it's really working like your shoulders, your back, your chest, your balance as you're moving your hands. We have a moving bridge where you walk across and each of the individual slats are moving as you move. The beauty about this park is it's all built with grab bars. So you always have something to hang on to, making it
Yeah.
all inclusive. So you could be in a wheelchair, you could be on a walker, and the equipment is accessible to you. We have wavy balance beams. We have a rope grid in which you step into each of the sections to work on your balance, but also engaging your hips to increase the range of your hips. So whenever you climb stairs, this is something that contributes to that.
And it gives them more strength, muscle strength.
Yes. There's like 21 fitness stations that are first one, and it covers balance, overall strength, cardio, and most importantly, socialization. Some of the exercise equipment face each other so that if two seniors are working out opposite of each other, they can actually engage in conversations while they're doing the arm bike or while they're twisting on a plate to work their core. So it's designed really well to cover these areas that I just mentioned. And we also include a covered shade over the entire park so that Houston gets very hot and we'd like
Yeah,
to,
no kidding.
it, yeah, we want to ensure that people aren't uncomfortable when they exercise. And the actual equipment is on padded astroturf. So in the event somebody like trips or falls, then there's absorption with the design to minimize or prevent anything injuries.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, emotionally and psychologically, what does this do for the person?
I think it's that feeling you get throughout your life when you start something new or you're putting yourself out there. And what it does, and what I've noticed for me, it's not just the programs, it's the outcome. So when somebody goes through our program at the end, you could just see a change in energy. You see a smile, you see so much more vitality in their eyes and the desire to want to come back. I have to say, probably 99% of all seniors, and you're talking about well over 1,000 have come through the museum program and our playground. And I have to say, each senior gives me a big hug and says, they say, thank you for doing this. Because they're not only engaging with other seniors in public spaces, whether it's the park, which is green space, or a museum, but the volunteers are predominantly younger, and it's giving them an opportunity to share their life stories with somebody who has, like you said in the beginning of the show, life experiences. So that adds value to someone when they can share a piece of themselves with another person that they first meet. And also build friendships because it's not easy in your latter years to develop new friendships. A lot of people give up before they even start thinking this is too much trouble. But if you have like the distraction of exercise or a place that's unique, I believe it will only foster and nurture new relationships, new experiences, and give people, like you said in the beginning, fuel to find their sense of purpose, find the reason to get up every day and look forward to something. And that's what we're about. Great Age Movement is just redefining old age through innovative social programs beyond what you normally see in order to evoke a new sense of self.
And how do you motivate people to go to the park or go to the health museum and participate in all these activities?
What we
Yeah.
found, my several of my colleagues who've been working with me, we have a lead person who her name is Lisa Dannenbaum, and she does cold calls. She calls precincts, and under each precinct, there's like tons of senior centers. And she finds out who is in charge of that specific center and either go in person and we do a pitch or we send our brochures, all our information. I'm telling you, those buses fill up like that. People want to get out and do things. So it hasn't been hard at all to motivate. Now,
Yeah.
what does inspire is music when we do have our programming, because people want to hear something they relate to and it loosens them up and then they start dancing and moving. And that plays a nice role in what we do.
What about the people that don't have the opportunity or they don't or for some reason can't get to their community center, how do you reach them?
So we do have archived all of our videos from the at home, it's called At Home Lab series. And we did that in partnership with the Health Museum for about 2 years. There's about 80 videos. And for those who can't leave their home and they don't have transportation, we provide different ways to work out throughout your home. We have other types of classes too, like do it yourself projects. You can build a wind chime in your home. We show you how we have expert guests in these videos that show you how to do makeup at 60 to freshen up your look before you go to the grocery store, or
Yeah.
how to tie a scarf, or how to freshen up your closet, or how to organize your kitchen. We've thrown out so many different activities that you could do and achieve in your own home if you can't be a part of where we're at the museum or at the playground. But we do hope a caregiver or a family member will catch wind of what we're doing, and that's why we're trying to spread the word and bring them.
Yeah,
We
and
cover
show
the
them
caregiver.
also show them how to get online because a lot of
Yes,
people aren't tech savvy and
that's right.
they don't have computers at home or laptops and they don't get the information or can't see the videos.
Do you know a lot of senior centers offer free classes on how to use your smartphone or how to use your iPad? They really have that routinely because that is an issue and people are still either transitioning or staying on the flip phone. And they're really trying to bring people to that level so the information is easier to access. I wish I could reach every single senior because I believe they would enjoy the programs that we're creating. They're one of a kind and they're in spaces that are in the public eye. When you go to our health museum program, they do, like I said, they do the workout through the entire museum. And the museum is in operation. They have kids camps. Kids are running everywhere. So seniors are making their way through all these kids that are suddenly cheering them on. And it's just creating this whole energy effect that inspires people. I mean,
I've seen some of the videos and I
uh
agree with you. Your programs are amazing. They look like they're super fun to
yes.
do, and you don't even have to be a senior to do them
You
either.
don't. The new senior is 55 and up. So we never set like a specific number
Yeah.
as to whether you can participate in our program or not. In fact, we partnered with so many different organizations. The Parkinson's Society, HAPS, came and brought their members, and the age range was like from 40 to 80 with Parkinson's. And they love the program. They went all the way through it, and it's now a new activity for them to return to. And our goal is to make it sustainable that when people come in groups, whether it's from the precincts or Baker Ripley or an independent retirement community, that they return and they keep coming back.
You make these programs fun, and I think
Yes.
that makes a difference when people are having fun, and it also helps with mental health issues as well.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
people that are becoming forgetful or whatever other issues, the programs actually help them.
Absolutely. In fact, as I mentioned before, we're building our second one in the next month at Baker Ripley Center in the Ship Channel. We're adding an additional fitness station, and it's a game that lights up. And essentially, it's like back in the '80s, there was a game called Merlin. And what you do is when you see the colors light up, different colors, you have to hit the color and remember the color and return to the color. So it's like a memory game. And it's designed for the outdoors. And we hope to add more brain activities in order to really stimulate recall and memory and problem solving and essential things. Because as you age after 70, the brain starts to shrink. And so once it starts to shrink, people generally get forgetful. So it's
Please don't
important
tell
to
me that.
always, yeah, but it's important to always try new things when it comes to aging. As you get older, it could be a new language. It could be just simple phrases. It could be a new activity like sewing or something that you've never done before that you have to force yourself to learn. And that's what's going to keep your brain fresh and your sense of awareness at
And
a
also, like you mentioned earlier, socializing will also help.
socializing a big factor because a lot of people lose that when they retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like are some of your other programs that you offer because they're very low impact, like low impact yoga, you
Yeah.
know, dancing, breathing, all these type of exercises, meditation.
We
Uh,
incorporate that all in one complete movement through the health museum where you experience all of that. The stretching, the dancing, the brisk walking, the balance work at the colon where you're doing squats and push-ups. And then you go to the big brain they have at the health museum and we're meditating to
yeah.
Linda Ronstadt,
Oh,
you
okay.
know? And then we march our way across. And at the very end, it's a dance off where each individual person has to go up on this platform. There's a big neon heart behind you, and they're dancing to Donna Summer's Bad Girl. And
I
I'm
love
telling
that.
that gets the whole crowd crazy. Everybody's just in it and they're excited to go up there. People are helping people to get up there that may be on a walker. And there's such a community feeling that, I mean, it's just, there's nothing like it. It's very powerful. And I'm
It
just so
brings back
happy.
their disco days,
Yes.
memories.
Yes, exactly. I mentioned Boy Scouts because I really feel like that taught me a lot about the importance of volunteering, about helping others. It's how society should function. And I feel like in primary education, they should make that a class, volunteering,
Yeah.
so that you really see what it takes to give and how working together can create to enhance society
Yeah.
and improve people's lives because not everybody's on the same playing field.
Yeah. And of course you need volunteers.
All the time. I've been very lucky. Last November, I applied for a grant with WellMed. They're beyond Houston. They are a preventative management company, and they have clinics everywhere in many states, and I ended up winning this $25,000 grant to help build our next playground, and then they attended our museum program in May, and after they did our senior art and exercise with us, they asked if they could be the sponsor of all the lunches. So they provide box lunches for all seniors who come through there, and they provide a doctor for one of their clinics to talk about real time health. And it's really kind of a powerful experience after you just exercise and pushed your body. And now you're going to hear what foods you should eat and how to take care of yourself. And if you have these chronic conditions, this is why it's important. You have to check these things, whether it's diabetes or blood pressure. And one of their pillars is that their employees need to volunteer. So they put up a sign up sheet, and every single class we have, I'm telling you, I have like 7 to 15 volunteers from WellMed coming each time, and they all love it and they all want to keep coming back. So that really tells me how far we've come
You
as
have
a
people
young
that
charity.
lecture as well.
Yes, we have they provide the doctors from their clinics. They have 21 clinics in Houston, and they have their various specialists, physicians. They could be an endocrinologist or a cardiologist or a family practitioner. They all come one at a time, of course, to talk about a specific topic. And that's them volunteering their time to share education. So it really creates a holistic effect, this particular program at the Health Museum. And we plan to do the same thing at the park. Have a physician come, provide a nice light breakfast or lunch after, and close it out with knowledge. You just learned how to use your body. You learned all these wonderful ways of improving your health. And now we're going to tell you a little bit about nutrition and hear from an expert that you normally see in a white coat. And it's
That's so you're having fun, dancing, learning, and learning as well. So
absolutely. And it's now being paid for through larger organizations, our program. So I'm very happy about that. In fact, also United Healthcare just joined and now they're sponsoring parts of our program. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like it's coming together and
wow.
how it should be. So we're very excited. I think this year is the turning point. And I think once you get over that hump, which was really the first playground, things are going to just start falling into place and spread and become that movement because we have the perfect recipe and it's been proven to work with the very seniors that come to us. And we want everyone to experience that.
So Fritz, do people have to sign up or can they just show up?
They can certainly just show up, but it's nice to have a head count because we have food. But if you go to our website, thegreatage.org, and under programs, we have 3 programs I mentioned. One is the Great Age Fitness Park, where we have our exercise outdoors. Then we have the Senior Art and Exercise Program, which is at the Health Museum. And it says that's the one you click on. And when you go to that page, it tells you about the program. And then in that page, it says contact information. You just enter your phone number or your email, and we will automatically get that information. And then we will contact you and give you the list of our next class.
Can they call as well?
They can absolutely call. The number is on there as well to our office, and somebody will gladly engage them in giving them the information.
Great. So What is the most important thing you want our listeners to know about aging and your organization?
You will one day be that person, and we are all in the same pot. And I feel like if people come and volunteer to see what we're doing, they're going to understand it. And there's going to be such a relatable feeling. You're going to think of your parents, you're going to think of your neighbor, you're going to think about that person you saw walking in the mall by herself with her walker. And you're going to feel this sense of civic responsibility to help the people who've lived a full life. In many cultures around the world, people revere their seniors. They revere their parents. America, and I'm not trying to knock America, but when you retire, people they go to these assisted living centers, independent living centers, and we're such a working society that I just want to bring back more of the need for family to engage extended family and be a part of that, because that's us. That's who we are. I was raised in Panama. My father, a military officer, my mother, Italian, but raised in Panama. And we were always with our uncles and aunts and grandparents. And we went to the park, we walked, we did everything together. Not quite the same experience here. And I want that for everybody here. I want people to be a part of the bigger picture, because we'll all be there one day.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much you can learn from a person like that. They have
Lee.
long histories, lots of experiences, and there's a lot we can learn, a lot.
Yes. And like you said, it's fun for anybody, the volunteer, the senior, the location. Where else do you get to work out in the museum?
Yeah, and then show a little compassion too.
Compassion. And whether your compassion is hidden, it will come to light as soon as you start volunteering, because you're exercising with seniors. You are moving with them. So you are a part of the picture as we're having our events. It's not just stand and watch, it's stand, engage, and participate. And I think
Yeah.
that's what makes it fun. It's about feeling good. It's not about your condition or your setbacks. It's about living with purpose and living now. And that's what I want for every single person, especially seniors. And that's why I call it great age movement. I don't want to use the word elderly anymore or seniors. I want to say great
No.
agers.
Yeah,
People are as good as their last breath. So live it fully.
I agree with you. I agree with
Yeah.
you. Before we go, you have
Yes.
a great event coming up. We're a little early,
Yes.
mentioning it,
Well,
but
less than two
it's
months away.
happening. Yeah, yeah, it's happening pretty soon. So can you talk just a little bit about it?
Sure. So we are holding our first ever gala. We've always done an annual luncheon, but our charity has grown significantly that we are moving into the gala arena. So we're having our first, and it will be our signature because we'll have it every year. It's a senior prom gala. And this is for everyone, all our donors. We plan to invite through corporate sponsorship seniors that have been attending our program, so they get to see the process of how we raise money for them to build these wonderful programs. So this particular senior prom gala is September 15th. It's Friday night, 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. Wear your prom dress or your tux. We're going to have a live band from Baton Rouge named Speakeasy. They're going to do cover songs. They'll go back as far as the 60s and all the way to current time. It's going to be a three-course meal. It's going to be completely decked out like the ultimate senior prom at the ballroom at Tanglewood, which is right next to the Galleria. We are honoring a woman that's coming in who has almost 2 million followers on Instagram. She is 77. She had a life changing moment 5 years ago, suffering from obesity and a lot of chronic problems. And her daughter, being a health fitness guru, put her on the path of learning to work out, eating healthy. And she decided to journal it on Instagram. And that's what led to her having like 1.7 million followers. And so she's coming to give her story, tell her story, and she's headlining our event. And we're so excited because I feel like she is the example. And doesn't matter where you are in life, she is testimony that you can change your life at any given moment. You just have to believe, and you need the encouragement and the support of people around you. And that's what Great Age Movement is about. We're here to support seniors. You're not alone. We're here with you. And we're going to bring people together to ensure that this is a continued success and that we continue providing free programs to seniors.
Fritz, I'm so glad you could talk.
Thank Oh, by the way, the theme is Back to the Future, like the movie from the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, Fritz, Thank you so much for being here, for
Thank
letting us
you.
know what your organization, the Great Age Movement, is all about, how we can help, how we can participate, how we can get our grandparents out there or any
Yes,
other senior person that we know or elderly person that we know
that's
or
right.
great age person that we know.
Better.
Um,
Yes, and you don't have to be 65, 70, or 80. You could be 55 plus and come join. Come volunteer, and you're gonna get the same exercise as if you're the senior themselves. So it benefits everybody, and that's what we
and,
want.
and it's free.
And it's free. We take care of it all through our fundraising. So we look forward to it. Anybody can go to our website and more information about the upcoming events at the museum, the playground, and also our senior prom gala are available with links directly on the page. And you can see a video of the Great Age Fitness Park and seniors working out so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about because there's much more equipment, fitness stations at the playground.
People will be there. More people than you know are going to show up.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And of course, I'd like to thank you all for being with me for this edition of Spotlight Houston. If you have any comments or any ideas for a special show, just let me know.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Spotlight Houston, a production of Story Zone Media.